Well, it's always great to have new blood coming through the ranks, and it's my pleasure to welcome to the Breeding to Win show this evening James Crawford, who's making a bit of a stance here in Gauteng. And James, lovely for you to join the Breeding to Win show. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
So just tell us a little bit about how you've come to be and take over a satellite yard for your dad here in Gauteng.
Well, initially started after I dropped out of university. I decided that I wanted to see what my old man's graft was about and really get involved. And I'd say about 6 months, 8 months in, I started to learn how to ride. And before that, I was already very hung onto the game because of just how much hard work and effort and blood, sweat, tears all goes in behind the scenes, which, to be frank, you don't actually see on race day. So that's where the first bug bit. And then after I learned how to ride and pace and just a more general understanding of how a horse feels, that was me. That was the done deal.
So you're pretty young, and obviously your dad had the faith in you to say, okay, well, you know what, I'm giving you reins, I'm giving you the opportunity, take it now and, you know, flow with it. I mean, to think that you're 22 and you're already running your own satellite yard, and not only that, you're producing the winners, full marks to you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, it actually came at a tricky time because I was invested in going overseas to learn more about racing there and growing a bigger understanding of racing in other places besides South Africa. So he gave me this job opportunity as I was going to go to UK, and I said, well, I can't say no. So I just grabbed it by the horns. I actually went to understudy Mike for 3 months prior to opening the satellite yard to get a greater knowledge. Yes. Get a greater knowledge of how he runs things, how you work and how you look after horses and so on up in Joburg. So after that happened, the horses came up and the stable's just been growing since then, so I'm very happy.
Just to go back, why did Brett choose Gauteng to open up a satellite? Because I know he's been obviously he's got his stables in Cape Town, and I know he's got a little bit of a satellite yard in KZN. What made the change?
Well, there's no longer a satellite yard in KZN. There was a joint thing with Peter Muscat and my dad, but they've gone their own ways. And it just makes sense to have a satellite yard here. I mean, you race 3 times a week. The stakes is much better. Your quality of racing is very good. And in Cape Town, you're racing once a week, 4 times a month for stakes that aren't great with a quality of horse that's unbelievable. So it was kind of a no-brainer at a point that we definitely need to go to Joburg. It's a matter of when and with who. So we decided to jump ahead with it, and yeah, I haven't looked back since.
How many horses have you got at Randkiesfontein?
I've just received a new batch, so I've got 28 now.
Oh wow, so it's jumped quite a bit, because I think when we first chatted after your first winner or second win, I know Goatee won twice for you, or 3 times,
yeah.
But I think it was his second win that we chatted. You said you only had about 11 or so. It's
I had about 13 or 14, I think.
Yeah, so it's almost doubled.
Yes.
So that's pretty good going, because you've only been up here a couple of months.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, no, I'm very excited. I've been sent some good horses as well, so I'm excited to see what I can do with them, and I'm just happy that my old man's put the faith and trust in me to crack on and do it.
And you're obviously thriving in Gauteng because you're loving Joburg and you're loving the lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. I find myself personally that because we race more here and just the amount of people that race within the game itself, I find there's just a higher passion and desire for racing, which is something that I really loved as soon as I got up here, and it's just drawn me ever more to the game since I've been up here. So
you found that you fitted in easier in Gauteng?
Yeah, it was very different work environment as well, because I was based in Philippi and there's only my father, there was Mike Robertson, and there was Justin Snaith. So there was very limited racing people I was around while I was racing, or while I was learning about racing. And now I'm in a place like Randkiesfontein where there's 1,200 horses in the centre and there's an endless list of trainers. So just the overall atmosphere of where I'm working and what's around me is amazing, to be honest.
So you've got 28 horses, obviously youngsters, or is it a mixed batch?
Mixed batch, eh? I've got some 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, I've got some babies, so I can't give you
So it's
precise numbers, but...
And will you be raiding from Joburg to KZN during the season?
We'll have to see how it goes and how horses progress, but I think that we might have 1 or 2 that we look to go for.
Okay, so you've got off to a good start. What are your goals?
As much as you could say I have a good start, I think once I have a Group 1 winner is when it'll really kick in that things are starting to go well. So I'm striving to be better all the time and try and improve my strike rate as much as I can. But I think once I have a Group 1 winner, things will really start to kick in.
Okay, so Brett, your dad, obviously is very good friends with Mike de Kock.
Yes.
And Mike's got a saying that common sense is not that common when coming to training racehorses.
No, definitely
So how
not.
do you feel about that?
I 100% agree with it, to be very honest. It isn't that common. Each and every horse is different, and you can't use the same technique for every horse. It's not going to work. So.
Well, James, you've certainly impressed us on the Highveld so far. We wish you all the very best going forward. We love having you on the Highveld, and may the winners keep flowing.
Thank you so much.
Lovely chatting to you. Thanks for joining us on the Breeding Tour and Show.
Lovely to chat to you too.